Hey everyone. Today, we're going to tackle a really tough but absolutely critical topic: date rape drugs. This explainer is all about giving you the knowledge you need to see the danger, to understand the warning signs, and to know exactly what to do. It's really about empowering ourselves and looking out for the people we care about.
So let's start with a number that shows you just how serious this is. Research suggests that about 1/3 of all sexual assaults might involve date rape drugs. Let that sink in for a second. 1 in 3. That is a staggering number. It shines a light on a very real, very hidden danger in social settings. And it tells us that this is not some rare thing. It's a significant threat that we all need to be talking about.
Okay, here's our game plan. First, we'll break down what this hidden threat really is. Then, we'll get into the specifics, the drugs themselves, and what they do. After that, we'll talk about recognizing the warning signs in your own body. Then, the most crucial part, what to do next if you think something is wrong. And we'll wrap up with the most empowering section, how we can all stay safe.
All right, let's jump right into section 1, the hidden threat. Before we can fight this, we have to understand exactly what we're talking about. The language, the context, the whole picture.
So first off, what do we even mean by date rape? Well, the term refers to non-consensual intercourse between people who actually know each other. They aren't strangers, and it often happens during a totally normal social event, like a party or just out at a bar. The most important thing to get here is that it doesn't matter that they know each other. It is always 100% a form of sexual assault.
And this is where we get to the core of the perpetrator's plan. This is not an accident. Drug-facilitated sexual assault is a deliberate, calculated act. It's about using a substance as a weapon, really, to knock down someone's defenses, to take away their ability to resist, and to make them easier to control. It's a crime, plain and simple.
So now that we've defined the act, let's look at the actual tools that are used. That brings us to section 2, the drugs and their effects. You can think of this as the perpetrator's toolkit.
Now, while a lot of different substances can be misused, we're going to focus on the big 3 that show up again and again in these cases. You've probably heard of them: Rohypnol, Ketamine, and GHB. Knowing their names is step 1. Knowing what they do is the next and most important step. This chart really helps lay it all out. Each of these drugs is dangerous in its own way. You've got Rohypnol, or roofies, which is a tablet that can cause major memory loss and make you lose control of your muscles. Then there's ketamine, or Special K. It can be a liquid or a powder, and it's known for causing hallucinations and even life-threatening breathing problems or seizures. And finally, GHB. It's a colorless, odorless liquid that can dangerously slow your breathing right down. To really put the danger of Rohypnol into perspective, get this: it's 10 times more powerful than Valium. 10 times. That means a dose that looks tiny, that seems like nothing, can completely incapacitate a person. It's incredibly potent stuff.
And then you have GHB. Its biggest danger is just how sneaky it is. Because it has no color and no smell, someone can slip it into almost any drink, and the victim would have no idea. There's no change in taste, no change in smell, and that's exactly why it's such a common weapon in these attacks.
But, there's another substance that's almost always a factor here, and we absolutely have to talk about it. So what about alcohol?
Alcohol plays a huge role. Sometimes a perpetrator will use alcohol all by itself, maybe by encouraging someone to drink way more than they plan to. But here's the really dangerous part. When it's combined with these other drugs, alcohol acts like a massive amplifier. It makes the effects of the drugs so much stronger, and it's often the very drink used to dissolve the pills or powders in the first place.
Okay, this brings us to section 3, and this part is all about you. It's about recognizing the warning signs. It's about empowering you to listen to what your body is telling you when something feels seriously wrong.
This is probably the question that runs through a person's head the next morning after a really confusing or scary night. You wake up and you just feel off. You have these big gaps in your memory. So, how can you actually tell if you were drugged?
The most important thing you can do is listen to your gut and these signals from your body. Ask yourself, did you feel way more drunk than you should have for the number of drinks you had? Did you suddenly feel weird, like a crazy shift in your mood or your body temperature? Major red flags are things like having trouble breathing, suddenly being unable to walk straight, or feeling intensely confused. But maybe the biggest sign of all is memory loss, waking up with these giant blacked out holes in your memory of the night. If something feels wrong, you have to trust that feeling.
And let's just sit with that for a second.
The experience of being drugged is absolutely terrifying. It's a deep violation to feel like you've completely lost control of your own body, your own mind. That fear, that confusion, it's all completely valid.
You know, getting through something like this is so hard, and having real support is everything. So I want to open this up to all of you. If you're comfortable with it, please share in the comments what you think makes a good ally. What does a supportive friend say or do? Let's use this space to build a resource for each other.
All right, this brings us to what might be the single most important part of our entire conversation today. Section 4, what to do next. This is your immediate, step-by-step action plan if you ever suspect you have been drugged and assaulted.
Please take a moment and let these steps sink in. Number 1, get yourself to a safe place. Your personal safety is the absolute first priority. Number 2, call someone you trust, a friend, a family member, anyone who can be there for you. 3, and this is urgent, get medical help right away. Go to a hospital, an emergency room. And number 4, and I know this is hard to hear, but please, do not shower, do not change your clothes, do not clean up. This is so important for preserving potential evidence.
Let's be really clear about this. Time is absolutely critical. These drugs are processed by your body and leave your system incredibly fast, sometimes in just a matter of hours. That's why getting to an emergency room is your #1 priority. It's for your immediate health, of course, but it's also for the chance to run tests that can prove these substances were in your system.
And while we're on the subject of what happened, I want to read this quote directly because it makes the definition of consent so undeniably clear. If you were not able to clearly and coherently say yes to what happened, then it is assault. That's it. It doesn't matter if you were drinking, it doesn't matter if you knew the person, if you were incapacitated and you could not consent, it was assault. Period.
And please remember this, you do not have to go through this by yourself. There is support available. It can be a trusted friend or a family member. It's there for you at your local hospital. And for totally confidential, 24/7 support, the National Sexual Assault Hotline is an incredible resource. Help is out there.
Okay, that brings us to our final section, and this one is all about looking forward and taking back control. Section 5, staying safe, because prevention is absolutely key.
You know what's so powerful about prevention is how simple some of these strategies are, but how effective they can be. These are real things you can do every time you go out. Watch the bartender make your drink. Never, ever leave it unattended. A simple trick is to just hold it with your hand covering the top. And be a good friend. Tell your friends your limits and look out for each other.
This list is a fantastic start, but our best resource is always our collective knowledge. It's what we all know together. So I want to ask you again, what other safety strategies do you use? What tips do you and your friends share with each other? Let's use the comment section to build a real safety guide together. Your one tip might be the exact thing that helps someone else stay safe. And if you only take one single thing away from our time together today, please let it be this. Remember, you are not to blame. What happened was not your fault. It was a crime, and the blame lies 100% with the person who committed it. We have covered so much ground today, and we really truly believe that knowledge is power. So we want to leave you with this question to think about. How are you going to use what you've learned today to protect yourself and to protect your friends? How can you turn this knowledge into action? If you found this information valuable, please hit that like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ready Collect. And please, feel free to share this video. You never know who might need to hear it. Thank you so much for watching.